Hi everybody, and welcome back to In the Kitchen.
I'm a mother of 4, it's really busy and time is tight. I was able to return to college because of the Community College Opportunity Grant, a free tuition grant. Hudson County Community College changed my life.
The college community made me feel like a person, not just a number. The Community College Opportunity Grant covers additional costs while keeping me debt-free. I'm building a new future at Hudson County Community College.
Today I have a really good show for you. Last month was Black History Month, the celebration all over the country. March is Women's History Month. And let me tell you, I have 2 women who are celebrated throughout the country and their contribution. One of the persons is Gail Marquis. Gail is a U.S. Olympian champion, and we're going to go into that a little bit more in women's basketball. Yes, in women's basketball. And she is a resident of New Jersey. Yes, New Jersey. Yay for New Jersey. Second is going to be a lovely wife, and her name is Audrey Smalls. Audrey has so much to talk about along with Gail. Her contribution to, I would say, she was a former commentator for Ebony Fashion Fair. And she is the founder of the Ground Crew. We will go into her story on another episode. Now, this is going to take 3 parts. The first is going to be Gail. The second one is going to be Audrey. And then I have a video clip that I want you to see when both of them sit and talk together. And let me tell you, Audrey will make you laugh. You should see the story that they talk about, how they met and how it just blossomed and how long they've been together. So I want you to sit back and watch this fabulous story that Gail Marquis has to talk about. And it's going to take you back some time when you hear her story. You'll say, oh wow, I didn't know that. This is for Gail. And the same with Audrey in fashion. This is for Audrey, and put them all together. Okay, I know, I'm just rattling you on. You know me, I can But first, I need a sip of Domaine Del Riviere's wine. Delicious. And then on this episode, guess what I'm making? Something that the kids are really going to enjoy as well as the rest of your family. It's very simple to make. It's not going to take a lot of effort. That's my oven telling me it's heated up to 350 degrees because I'm gonna need it because what I'm making, this bread bowl chicken stew. Bread bowl sticking, you hear me? Chicken stew. No, I didn't have enough wine yet. It just got me tongue-tied. Okay, but look at this. Here are my breads. Yes, little balls, right? Really nice, and they're fresh. I can squeeze them with my hand. What I'm going to do is cut off maybe 1/3, and then I'm gonna take not all of the insides out, most of the insides out of both of them. And then the chicken stew, it's not my day. The chicken stew that I'm gonna make is gonna go into these, and that will be dinner. But I'm sure if you don't tell the kids or your loved one that you're making this, they're gonna be surprised and say, what's that? Oh, I've seen that before, I never had it before. And yes, you can eat it afterwards. Okay. So now you have an idea what this show is about, all right? When I come back, I am going to start fixing this chicken stew because it is going to take a minute, and then we will go into Audrey's, Gail's. I love them both. We'll go into Gail's interview. Okay, stay right there. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm ready. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is to cut the tops off of these two round loaves, okay? So here I go. Let's put this one here. I'm just gonna take maybe this much off. If I get my knife into it, and I should have used a serrated knife. Oh, this is working real good. You see? Real simple. This we're gonna need. Let's switch. Okay, let's see. All right. Cut the top off of this. Okay. Oops. Stay there. Okay, this will work. It's a little lopsided, but that's okay. My hands are clean. So what I want to do is dig some of the inside of this out. So I'm gonna go like this. See, I'm not taking a lot. There we go. Now you want to make sure that you leave some on the sides, okay? Yeah. Ooh, look at that. See how simple that is? Real simple. We're gonna do the same for this one. Here. Now, when I was testing this, I was using a real large loaf of banana bread from Andrea Maria on Central Avenue. I think today I'm having a tongue-tied day, but that's okay. We're getting it done. And that was very, very big, and that's good for a big family. Okay, let's pull a little bit more out. Now remember, your stew is going to be absorbed by this. So my next step with this is to take it and put it inside the oven. And what that's going to do, it's going to make the shell just a little harder, okay? Just for about 10 minutes or so until you feel it's hard. I have my oven set at 350 degrees. Take this. I'll leave it in there for about 10 minutes or so. Okay, so now the next thing, while that is doing that, I want to take you so you can watch this interview. Oh my goodness, Gail Marquis is a wonderful person. You are going to enjoy this. So stay right there, sit back, relax, have a glass of wine with me. And I'll be right back to start our chicken stew. Be right back. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to In the Kitchen. Today, I have the honor to introduce you to someone who is a U.S. Olympic champion in women's basketball. Her name is Gail Marquis. Hi, Gail.
Hey there. Hey,
How are
Renee. Thanks
you?
so much for having me on the show. Doing
Oh,
great.
it is such a pleasure. Everybody, this woman has a story that is so beautiful, and she put so much work into it over the years and brought her today that we can celebrate Women's History Month. And she and her lovely wife, Audrey Smalls, has been selected. So let's get started with Gail. Gail, tell us a little bit about your background. This is really exciting.
Uh, it's pretty extensive, Renee. I'm originally from Queens, New York. I grew up there. Now I live in Jersey City, New Jersey, but I grew up in Queens, New York. I went to public schools, to the PSs and the high schools,
Mm-hmm.
and I played collegiate basketball for Queens College in Flushing, New York.
In
And at that
Flushing, New
time,
York,
Queens
yeah.
College was ranked in the top 5 in the country for all 4 years that I played. And my basketball career has really been something that has taken me through my life into a professional career, into a career on Wall Street and financial services. And even right now, as I work as a director of development for New Jersey City University in their College of Arts and Sciences.
That is wonderful. So let's step back a couple of years. Um, Tell us about your career, or how was it like being a women's basketball star? I'll use the word star. How was it during those years? Because um, as far as we know, it wasn't really accepted. Women playing, I would say, not any type of sports. But for you to be playing basketball, that is on another level. Tell us about that. What was it? What was your experience?
Thanks again, Renee. Yeah, I played in the 70s, and
Hmm.
it was just on the cusp of women getting more notoriety in sports and being accepted in sports. And basketball being a physical type of game, meaning that
Sure.
you're going to perspire, you're running up and down, you're bumping into one another. It could be a bit rugged, but I always enjoyed it. I started playing in middle school, junior high school, went on to high school and played, but really got serious about it in college. And that's why I chose Queens College in Flushing, New York, because they had the top team in the
Oh,
metropolitan area at that time.
oh,
Uh,
they did.
they did. There was no University of Connecticut or University of Kansas or UCLA for women's basketball. At that time, Queens College was a top team, Immaculata, another top team, even Lehman College up in the Bronx, another top team. So I
Lehman
selected
College. Hmm.
Lehman
I
College.
went. I went there for a moment.
Okay, all right. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
I wanted to mention some of the locals. And Queens College had the best team all around. So I was able to
Really?
attend that college. I didn't have scholarships, and I like to tell people only because they had not invented scholarships for women. There was no Title IX the way there is now, that
That's
equal
what it's
funding
called.
to men's and women's program. Title
Isn't that?
IX is a federal mandate, equal funding to men and women's programs. Where federal funds are given to an institution, it must be equally spent, not only in sports, it could also be in music and the arts, but those funds are given to a public institution, they must be
Oh.
spent equally. That was not in effect when I played. So
Mm.
my parents paid for my education. It was not as expensive as it is now, but still, it was a big chunk. But I had a wonderful experience at Queens College. I had great
Hmm.
teammates who pushed me as a freshman, as a sophomore. I
Hmm.
had a coach, Lucille Cavallis, who was a little bit, crazy, but she got the most out of us and really
Oh.
drove me to want to do more and meet more and more challenges. And
Uh-huh.
I often tell people about dreaming dreams that are not there. And one of my dreams was to make the Olympic team when there was no Olympic team for women's basketball. When I was selected
Okay.
back in 1976, it was the
Uh-huh.
first time that women's basketball was in the Olympic Games. So
I see.
how do you dream to be on a team when there is no team?
But let me ask you a question. Okay, here it is, a men's dominated sport, and then women come along. How how did that mix with the men? How did they accept it? Or did they accept it? Or did they try to push it away and like they stereotype, women are not capable of this and that and that? which women have proven today that they are. How did that work together?
Well, if you can imagine again, back in the 70s, that was at the time where I guess those that had money and invested in sports, we weren't on television that much, if at all.
Hmm.
We weren't on the news at the end. But I will tell you that the men that we came across as players, or the young men or boys that we came across as players, never had a problem with them. Now, we
Never.
often had problems with the administrations who
Oh,
didn't want to give us time on the basketball court.
yeah.
Or even when I was in high school, the high school coach wouldn't let one of our games be played in the main gym with the
Oh,
clock
really?
and with the timers and with the bleachers, the stands. No, he said we could not play in the main gym. So we had to play in our much smaller gym, which wasn't even a regulation size, and we had to play our games there. Again, I never had
Wow.
problem with other male players, but
Mhm.
often I think at a higher level, maybe my coach, maybe my administrators had problems on the other side against other male coaches. But one thing I will credit, even when I was on the Olympic team,
Mhm.
and there were disparities,
Mhm.
just like there are today, my coaches never let me know. Our coaches did not let the players know that they gave $1,000 to the men's team and you have
Oh,
$50,
yeah.
or
Yeah.
your uniforms, they're getting 3 pairs of sneakers, you better find a way to get your own shoes, kind of thing. They never let us know, which I do appreciate, because what would they
Mhm.
have done? It would
Yeah.
not have enhanced my game. It would not have helped me play any better. I always
Mhm.
played hard, but I didn't
Mhm.
want to play angry.
But
And
let me ask you a question. Sorry to interrupt you. Okay, so during that time, it was a little challenge for women to be accepted. Like you say, you couldn't play on the main court. How was it as being a woman and being African American? And on the other side of that, how many African American women were on the teams in general?
well, when I played in college, it was about 50%. You have 12 players on a team. There you probably were 5 or 6 African Americans per team per year, maybe
I
a little
see.
bit more, a little bit less. When I was on the Olympic team and when I would try out for our national teams, there were usually about, I think it topped out the year I was on at 4 African Americans. So you have 4 Blacks, you have 8 Caucasians or non-Black.
Ah.
And I like to tell young people who ask, and you look at teams now, the NBA, the WNBA,
Mm-hmm.
our collegiate squads,
Mm-hmm.
heavily dominated with minorities, African Americans,
Oh, sure.
Latinx. It was not that way when I played, but another thing I do say is that I couldn't let it get in the way of my playing. There were times, we talk about the Olympic team. I made
Yes.
that team in '76. Very rarely do I get a chance to talk about the teams and the trials that came before that.
Tell us.
The
Tell us.
American, no, because I didn't make those teams and they were ugly
Oh.
teams.
Oh, I
So
see.
I say that to say that when you're on a national team, and you're building the character of a national player, international player, there's always those lessons behind you. And in those teams prior to, often there were 1, maybe 2 African Americans on the team. After the Olympic team, it just inched up a little bit. And I like to tell people that when I try out for these teams, it's like being in a racehorse. I wear blinders. I don't
Yes.
really look left or right. I keep myself concentrated on the task in front of me.
Me
And
too.
there are some ugly scenes. There are times that you weren't selected and you knew it was because of the color of your skin.
Yes,
There were
I was gonna ask you that. Did you have to go through that segregation challenges being on a team, where you're going to play? Were the team was accepted, but were the African American woman accepted in a particular town, or you know where I'm coming
Yeah,
from?
I know what you're saying, and I'll have to say yes. I was accepted. That was in '76. Who knows if I had played maybe in '66 or '64, or
Mm-hmm.
when Cassius
Earlier.
played Muhammad Ali, he mentioned how there was segregation then. When I played in '76, we stayed together as a team. We traveled as a team. We were
Mm-hmm.
lodged as a team, whether it was in a hotel or another college setting. And as
Mm-hmm.
teammates, we all stayed together and stuck up for one another.
Yeah, that's what I was interested in finding out. Did you have to go through any of those things? Because it can put a damper, I guess, on what you're doing. Yes.
It could put a damper on what you're doing. I mean, even some of the way that they selected you for the teams could put a
Yeah.
damper on it. But those are the things those are the character builders that make you better, that make you stronger, that
Hmm.
put you in a position that you can play on a national team and earn a silver medal. Because
Yes.
if you get torn down by those, if you let them get under your skin, you won't be able to compete. You won't be able
Yeah.
to perform. When you
Yes.
interview my wife, she'll be on, the next time you get a chance to speak to her, she
Hmm.
went through segregation
Yes.
when she did her March on Washington, or when she
Hmm.
was with the Ebony Fashion Fair and they would travel around. They couldn't often stay in the restaurants, excuse me, they couldn't eat in the restaurants that they purchased food from. And the
Yeah.
African Americans, they had to look for the lightest skin to go in there and get the food. And she will tell you
Yes.
those kind of stories. She had to go through the
Yes.
segregationist type of stories.
Yes. Oh, so interesting. Now, moving on, then became the Olympics. Tell us about that. You are the first person in my entire life, in my little small life now, that I've met that is an Olympian. Come on, Gail, bring it up. Bring it up.
And we're always an Olympian. We're never former. We're never past Olympians.
Yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
wouldn't tell Colin Powell that you're a former general. He's just a
Uh-huh.
general. I'm just an
Okay,
Olympian. I'm just an
you
Olympic
are.
champion.
You
And I
are.
like to tell people that you know, you get married, people have children,
Hmm.
you have um, landmarks in your life. For me, the
Yes.
Olympic team, making that team, the tryouts, when they put the medal around my neck, those are landmarks in my life. I think about it every single day. Not a day goes by that I have not thought of my Olympic moment.
Yeah.
And
But
there are
when
so
you
many of them.
now when you was playing before you became um, an Olympian, and you was working your way up, how did that feel? How did it feel like when you played that game, that when they put that medal around your neck? What was the experience? I'm sure you must have had goosebumps. You was crying.
Well, I'll
I know
tell
I
you,
would.
you you can't cry when you're playing.
No, no,
Okay,
no. I
you
mean when they put
you
the
missed
medal
the
on.
shot.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I was really focused. I was really determined to make the Olympic team. I had tried out for the Pan Am team, for the Royal
Hmm.
Universities, for other games and national teams before, and I was not selected. And it was very painful to have to return back to New York and hop off the plane, and no, I didn't make it. So I
Oh,
was
they
very
select
focused.
you. They select you for the team as individuals from various teams to put this one team together. Correct?
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. So
All
my
right. Go ahead.
teammates were from across the country, two or three from California, two from Connecticut, two of us from New York. They had the ladies from the South. So
Hmm.
they brought us all together. And I was very focused during the tryouts when
Hmm.
I had my blinders on, because I had
Hmm.
competed against these women before and I knew their
Oh,
skills and they knew my skills. And I hadn't won. I hadn't been on the team before. I had to overcome their skills. And so even to have that final day, all these practices and these tryouts, and they post a list at the end of the 5 days. And
okay.
there are the 12 players and the three alternates. And I like to tell
Okay.
people I was too nervous to even look at the
Look at
list.
it was like you go like this.
Oh, I
Oh.
didn't want to look at the list because the practice, the evening session before, that was, let's
Yeah.
say, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., I felt I bombed. I had had a good week,
Oh,
did all
really?
the other cuts. I was so pissed because I played against a young lady and she's a great scorer, great talent. We're still friends today, but I thought, oh my gosh, my whole game had fallen apart. So I was back in my room packing my bags to go home.
To go home. Yeah. Yeah.
And then one of my future teammates, Nancy, she came in and said, Gail, me and you, we won. We're on a team. We're on a team. And I said, get the F out of my face. Get out of here. Leave me alone. And I'm still packing. And then that other woman came in and tears were in her eyes. And she said, congratulations, you made it.
Wow. That I'm sure that just you was just screaming and happy and
I was just so overwhelmed. And, one of the memorable parts was for me to call home and tell my mother and my father, and it was a different time zone. So it was about 1 or 2 in the morning in New York, and tell them, I'm not coming home. Don't wait for me at the airport. I will not be there tomorrow. I made the team. And
ah
then to have to call, not have to, but then to call my college coach and tell her also, Miss Cavales, I made the Olympic team. She said, oh, good, you're an alternate. And I said, no,
No,
I'm on the
I'm,
team.
I am on the team.
And she got very quiet. And I think she started to realize, you have these moments that happen to you and you almost can't realize that it's real. You worked for it, you prayed on it, you focused on it. And then when it finally lands in your lap and hey, you got it, you're on it.
Yeah,
You
that
almost,
is,
you almost don't know how to react.
yeah, sensational. So the Olympic team, now what came after that?
Well, for women, usually after you finish your 4 years of competing in college, there's nothing. At the
No,
time,
I mean career-wise. You mentioned something before we run out of time to say, the Devotion Project. Let's
oh,
move
well,
forward a
that's
little.
like fast forward,
Yeah,
gleaning
because
like
we could
decades.
talk about your story for a good hour because there's so many parts to it, that are interested, and I'm sure the people watching this want to hear about it. So maybe later on, I can put together a little documentary, and then we can take an hour and do it because I love producing and directing. I love it, as you know. So let's move forward to the Devotion Project, which is really, really important. Tell us about that.
Well, to fast forward from the Olympics and
Am I skipping anything major from the Olympics to the
yeah,
Devotion
you're
Project?
skipping the fact that I came out as LGBT, as
Okay.
a gay woman, and that I got married.
Okay.
And my wife and I are in this video as part of the Devotion Project. And it's a 6-part series. Our part, which I think is the best one, is called Foremost in My Mind. And in
Yes,
that
yes.
series, the director, Tony Oso, he wanted to put together a positive image of members of the LGBTQ community.
Uh-huh.
He wanted, there was a movement, It Gets Better, because so many people, young and old, were feeling the pain of being part of the community and just the hate or the slights, the microaggressions against us. So he put together a series of films. My coach told me to be in it. This is 40 years after I played for her. She's still telling me what to do. And my wife and I starred in the movie, and it's a documentary, only about 9 or 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
I encourage the audience to go ahead and check it out. Not only ours, but the other 5. And it's different segments of couples. We're the only African-American couple in there. Again, we're the best ones. But it tells the story of our life. And what was really keen after it got so many awards, it's been translated into about 23, 25 different languages.
Really?
After that, Tony got permission, our director, they cut it down from 10 minutes to 3.5 minutes. And it was part of the marriage equality. And it went with the whole human rights campaign package to the Supreme Court to explain our community, to explain why. And so it takes you, it takes Audrey and I, it takes you through Audrey and I's, our short life together as we navigate this community and Foremost in My Mind.
But I noticed you like wife.
I love wife.
You like wife.
Wife?
I like wife as well, but I often say, this is my life partner. We got married 11-11-11.
I come right out and say, oh, did you meet my wife? I want you to meet my wife. That's the first, I want to introduce you to my wife.
I hope I don't get any tickets today, because I know New York will give you tickets.
No, you're not.
I hope not.
Great neighborhood. Are you kidding me? I don't know how to drive. I'm Miss Daisy.
You used to know how to drive, you said.
Oh, yes. I mean, if I'm forced to.
Hi, Gail Marquis, campus of Queens College, and I'm being inducted into the inaugural class, the first class of the Queens College Athletic Hall of Fame. In the middle of going to college, I went there to play basketball, and I was lucky enough to play for our U.S. Olympic team. It was the first time they ever had women's basketball at the games. I also came home with a silver medal, which I did not plan.
Everybody loves Gail. If I go somewhere, well, where's Gail? Even the mayor, where's Gail? And then when Gail is someplace, well, where's that crazy lady? I'm the crazy lady.
I grew up in Queens, St. Albans, Queens, New York. There were 5 of us growing up, and I was a middle child. I always like to say confused.
Yes. As you speak, my audience have been watching a little clip of
Oh,
it.
good. Oh, good.
Yeah, yeah, which is really really good because it brought people together as one. We're still fighting for those rights, which is very very important. Things are just moving on. Gail, what's going on with your life now? What are you doing these days?
Well, I just stay busy. I often tell people I have no time. No, I have no time. I can't do it. But then I just say, where do you want me? What do you need me to
That's
do?
what you did. That's what you said to me. You said, just let me know and I'll be there. And ladies and gentlemen, I met Gail through a good friend of ours, Curvin Blue. He lives over in Society Hill. And I used to go to the parties and I saw Gail there with her wife, Audrey. And Audrey and I started talking. Gail was kind of quiet. You'll meet Gail when I interview her because Gail, her personality's up there. She just
No,
bright.
Audrey's personality is out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry. Yeah, it's out there. And I said to myself, there's something about that couple. I can't put my finger on it. And lo and behold, I was right. Olympian and Audrey being a fashion what icon. Can I use the word icon?
Yeah, fashion icon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said to myself, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it.
Oh,
So
we just stay very quiet about it. We let you find out. You can
yeah,
find out.
yeah,
We
yeah.
don't have to tell you. We don't want to tell you.
But
That's
see,
no
I always knew
fun.
it. And thank you so much. So today you're doing what now?
Today, I'm with New Jersey City University. I'm the Director of Development. So really what I do is I fundraise for scholarships for our students, and our
Mhm.
students look just like me and you and your family, your spouse's family. They're Black and brown, they're Latinx, they're Asian, they're Pacific Islanders. They're the whole gamut. Many of
Mhm.
them are first generation. They're right here in our community, one of the most diverse cities in America.
Yes.
I reach out to philanthropies, to foundations, and raise funds for these students to make sure that they can go to school and continue their education.
Wow. Wow. It's just an extension of what you was doing before, and you're doing it, and you're doing this now, which is really good. And I know that these students appreciate it so much. It's so important to have someone support you, like you're supporting me doing my shows, my little interviews. The show itself in the kitchen with Chef Renee Hewitt is great, but I wanted to bring on people who have something to say of interest, like I mentioned once before, like yourself. And there's a chef out there who nobody has given him a chance to express himself. He's running a business. Chef Mark McLean, he was on the show. Nobody gives them the opportunity. When I started the show, it was all about me. I said, no, I got to bring people on.
That's right. You have to share with others. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And I say give back. I graduated from one of the college, Hudson Community College, culinary arts, and I always said I want to go back and teach. Lo
Mhm.
and behold, the continuing education hired me, and I was nervous the first day. I was like, I could do this. I could do this. But it's such a good feeling, and I'm saying this because I know what the students are going through because you're helping them,
That's right.
and it's very, very important. Now, is there anything that you would like to say before we not say goodbye? But I'll see you soon. I'll see you later on.
Well, again, I continue to reach out to my community. I grew up in Queens, New York, but Jersey City quietly has become my home. I can't believe I've been here that long, and I'm glad they have embraced me and taken me in. And like you say, I just look to give back to my community. My community has grown, so it's bigger than Jersey City now.
Yeah.
Our communities, we take in so many. And this pandemic that we've gone through, as
Oh
we
my
get toward
goodness.
the other side and we see the light in the tunnel, let us all be thankful for if we've made it through. Remember those who left untimely, and let us, do things differently so we can bring
Yes.
all of them in and really uh, 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 get rid of the hate. I always say love wins.
Mm-hmm.
Live a life of love.
Mm-hmm.
Read your scriptures. You get focused on who you are, and let's all come through this, all of us
Yes.
together. It's
Yes.
not going to be
Leave
any
the
good if one or two come through.
No, no,
All of
and
us
leave
must come through
and
together.
leave the negativity behind. If I'm
Yes.
around people who are negative, I think everybody have a little bit, but some people are a little bit out there. Then I have to pull away.
I have to get away from it too. I only need
Yeah,
positive around me.
yeah, that's bad energy in the room, and
That's
I've
right.
been saying I won't say anything to the person, but they won't hear from me again. Put it like that.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, I meant to call you, but I was really busy.
Mhm.
No,
Or
that doesn't go.
my favorite is you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
No, that really happened. Some of my friends probably said, "Oh, Renee was pushing me aside." No, 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 I wasn't doing that. Well, let me tell you, Gail, this has been wonderful. I am so glad that you took time out of that extremely busy schedule to sit down and talk with me and my viewers. And like I said before, I'm going to get in touch with you. Well, I'm always in touch, but I'm going to produce a nice, good, solid documentary about you and about Audrey. That is for sure. I like doing this. I like asking questions and learning things that I never knew before.
Thank you.
Okay.
And thanks for allowing me to tell my story to a new audience. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, Gail. And I will be seeing you soon. Wasn't that a great, great, great interview with Gail? Thank you, Gail. I really appreciate it. I love you so much. Thank you. It was such a pleasure to have met you. I went to a party given by a good close friend of ours, Curvin Blue, here in Jersey City at Society Hill. And that's where I met Gail and I met Audrey. And there was something about them. I couldn't put my finger on it. I said, something about these two women that is lovely. And when she told me her story, sometime after, I met them a couple of times there, I was fascinated. And I said, listen, you gotta come on the show. You gotta come on the show so you can tell your story to the world, okay? All right, so now we are ready to start our chicken stew. This is very, very simple. You will see, very simple. It's not complicated. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little butter. Ooh. Okay. Next, I'm going to add my chicken. And I don't want this up too high. Add the chicken. Now this is chicken breast. And I seasoned them with Schreiber and some salt. Oh, yes. And I made enough so there's some left over so we can throw down tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? So, okay, here we go. Woo. This is going to start smelling wonderful. Ooh, you hear it? Now this is the chicken breast. And you know the chicken breast will cook a little fast. When I fry chicken, you know what? I use chicken breast. And I slice the breast. Come on, you too. You can put this here. I slice the breast like this, about not a half an inch, maybe just a little less. And I fry it like that. I dip it in flour, egg, and panko breadcrumbs. Put it in the pan and I cook it for about 2 minutes on each side, and you'll be amazed. It is so good. Oh, unbelievably good. Okay, let's turn this up a little. So, like I said, this is gonna cook. Let me get this. Oh, I'm turning it down instead of up. There we go. Yeah. We want this chicken to brown a little bit, and then we could add the rest. I don't want to burn it. Okay, there we go. We want this chicken to brown a little bit. And then from there, we can add the rest of our ingredients to make this chicken stew. It's gonna be good. I haven't had chicken stew in a long time. However, to make it, I have some more of Schreiber's. Here, I have green onion. That's gonna go on later. I have a little salt, a little chicken broth. I have my peas. And in this bowl, I'm trying not to contaminate stuff because you know I used it in there. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, that'll be good. What I did earlier, I cooked the potatoes with carrots, a little salt, a little pepper, and a little salt, a little pepper. I just used water. I didn't put any chicken broth, but I did add celery at the end, and that made it, made it cook really, really well. And I tasted it was wonderful. Okay, oh yeah, the juices are coming out. Oh yeah, it's starting to smell good. And the whole thing is that I seasoned it ahead of time and I left it in the refrigerator so it can just roll into it. And I found a trick when I season anything is take it and smash it with your hand, like put it on the board and press into it, and then you're getting all your seasonings directly into whatever it is, whether it's beef, whether it's chicken or fish or whatever. Take it and push it a little bit, and then put it in the refrigerator for a few minutes, half an hour, if you have the time, and then you'll get much more flavor. Okay, so in the meantime, while this is cooking, let's go to a commercial, and I'll be right back.
Come to Hudson County Community College
for courses that transfer to four-year schools
and provide credentials for in-demand careers.
They're the newest technologies and facilities anywhere.
And caring professors and staff to help me succeed.
A great education and full campus life.
All for a fraction of the cost of most four-year schools.
Hudson County Community College.
Close to home.
Affordable.
High quality.
Life-changing.
Register now.
Okay, I'm back. All right, so this is looking good. Oh yeah, and my Staub from Patty, Pam from my sponsor from Cantona, New York, Charles Department Store. We was up that way, I would say the beginning of the year or the end of last year. I go into my wine sponsors, little mansion, and we stopped by, and I was amazed by the products they had, and we talked. And here is one of their products, okay? You can find them online. It's really simple. Okay, so now that I have this, the next step I need to add some more of my ingredients. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to add some flour. Okay, this is about approximately 2 tablespoons. Okay. Oh yeah, that's our thickening agent, right? So let's move this around. And it's going to coat this chicken, and it's going to make what you call a roux. Just wanted to get it real good. Oh, that's smelling good. I can smell it. We're going to add some of our seasoning. Remember, squeeze it between your fingers to get the aroma, if that's what you want, to sense the oils and everything out. And we're doing this in layers, as you can see. The flour has really done its job. Whoops. Okay. I have a little thyme, just a pinch. Oh yeah. Some salt. Remember, watch. Oh, I smell that. Watch your salt intake. Use accordingly. Very good. Oh boy, I can smell this. That thyme hit it. Okay, a little paprika. Yes, a little. You know how this is going to be, right? And last, well, not really last, I'm going to add some chicken broth. Let's do this. This is about a good cup. You can add as you go along if you need more. And this, along with the flour, is going to help to thicken it. Now this is going to cook like this for, about 2 minutes or so, because our chicken on the break was finished cooking, okay? It was doing its thing. Ooh, I can smell this. Oh yeah, it's starting to have that color, and I'm scraping the bottom of the pan because when I, excuse me, when I added the flour, flour is going to stick. So the broth helps lift up everything, and the chicken was cooking down a little bit, and that's going to help it also. Oh my goodness, look at this. That flour really did it. Let's add a pinch more of our chicken broth. And get broth. I've cooked a couple of times and I made a mistake and didn't pay attention, looking at the label, and guess what I picked up? Stock. The recipe didn't call for that, and what happened? Messed up my whole dish. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so we're gonna take another break, another commercial, and when I come back, we're gonna look at our bread bowls, add a couple of more. Oh, we have the green peas to put in there, and put all of that together. We're gonna put it in the bowl, and we're gonna be ready to throw down because I have to add the potatoes as well. Okay, I'm back. Now, I have the potatoes, carrots, and celery that I cooked earlier. I'm gonna add that. Let's just do it like this. Ooh. This is going to be to die for, as my best friend Deborah says, to die for. Now, what I did, a little more broth. What I did, when I was cooking this, I did not let the potatoes cook all the way. I only let it cook until they started to get a little soft, because what's going to happen if you overcook them and then you get to this point, they are going to get a little soggy. Okay, green peas. It's about a good half all of them, half a cup. Let's do this again. Oh my goodness. Woo, look at that. Wow. Now I'm going to let that simmer for a minute. Being that I cooked the potatoes earlier and they were sitting over here, you know, they got a little cool, so we had to wake them up. Okay, another sip of wine. We are throwing down tonight. I'm telling you, I made enough that's gonna last us with the bowls. We can have that a little early because it's around 6 o'clock right now. Oh, but that's right, we have daylight saving time. I know some of you don't like it. I don't particularly, but what can we do? Okay. Woo. Let me move this because we do not want to contaminate anything. That's why I had it on that paper towel. Okay. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. Oh. Okay. Here's our bread bowls. And they are hot because you know I had them in the oven. Our tops are here. Now it's time to put a little of this fantastic dish that I created right into the bowls. Let's move this out the way so you can see everything. There we go. All right, so here it is. Let's see. Let's do this. Oh boy. Ooh. Look at that. Oh, it's ready to drizzle all over the place, but that's okay because it is good. Let's get some more of this chicken in there. I cut the chicken up in bite-sized pieces, okay? The carrots, the same. I got the little bag of carrots. That's good. Some celery here. Woo! I'm stacking this up. Wow, look at this. Oh, not too much now. Okay. I can turn this off because it is definitely done. Now, what's happening is that these bread bowls, they have been in the oven and they're nice and hot, so it's going to keep your stew the same way, okay? Here's some more. Let's do it. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's get some of that chicken in here. Renee, don't be stingy with the chicken. Some and carrots, yeah, and celery. Some green peas. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Some more chicken on this one. You know, oh, that is good. I'm always overdoing it. I can't cook a little bit of food. I have to cook a lot. It happens all the time. Let's get this on here like this. Oh my goodness. A little bit on here. Then we have a nice little topping. Oh, come on, get in there. Ooh, that's good. All right, My topping is the green onion. Look at that. Oh boy, oh boy. Wow. There you go. Let's put this here. Okay, so here we are. Here, our covers. Move this over. Here are our covers. And we have here, I thought it was still cooking. We have here our chicken stew cooked on the side and then put into our bread bowls. So what I did, I dig the inside out. Now you can go deep to the bottom if you like. That's up to you. You can go all the way to the bottom, but leave a little so that bread will absorb it. And then I took these, cut them like a third down, and put them inside the oven at 350 degrees, and that made them hard and solid because they were fresh. Okay, and then I have my chicken stew here with potatoes and celery and carrots and all the other seasons that I have. And this is what we have. We have a really good chicken stew just for you, and the kids are gonna love this because when you serve it to them, and you can pull this out, you can put this on the top and put this on the top. And when they look at it, they're gonna say, "Mommy, what's that?" Or your husband or wife is gonna say, "What is that?" And then when they go like this, they're gonna say, "Oh my goodness, look at this, there's food inside of these." Don't you think it's a great idea? I do, I think it is. Wonderful, wonderful for a little brunch on a Sunday afternoon. It's cold these days and the weather is getting ready to change, and 42 degrees right here in Jersey City. Okay, well, I just want to thank Gail Marquis. Once again, Gail Marquis, she is a U.S. Olympian champion and a resident of Jersey City, and her wife is coming on another episode, Audrey Smalls. And Audrey, it was a former commentator for Ebony Fashion Fair, and that's being big. That's very, very big. Okay, well, thank you very much. And here's to you. And until next time, stay safe. Bye.
Come to Hudson County Community College
for courses that transfer to four-year schools.
and provide credentials for in-demand careers.
They're the newest technologies and facilities anywhere.
And caring professors and staff to help me succeed.
A great education and full campus life.
All for a fraction of the cost of most four-year schools.
Hudson County Community College.
Close to home,
Affordable,
high quality.
life-changing.
Register now.
As cool temperatures are upon us, the first thing I think of is soup season and one-pot meal. R.L. Schreiber products are the perfect way to start your home-style recipes this season. With such a wide selection of concentrated stocks, chili peppers, and flavor-based products, let R.L. Schreiber be the beginning of your end result.